Coming through the garage here, Foxy. Got him, got him. Oh, his mate's on the left. There's two left, two left.
That's a GG.
Did he just say that's a GG like Mario?
Uppercut, uppercut, sonic boom!
Welcome to the definitive tactical guide to Karakin. And this video is brought to you by PUBG Mobile. Thanks very much to them for allowing me to make such wonderful content geared specifically towards the guys that watch my channel, guys and girls that watch my channel. This is basically what you guys like watching, and PUBG Mobile is sponsoring me to make the content that you like to watch. So hats off to them and thanks very much. And I want to talk about Karakin and why I've kind of gone in a 360 loop on this map, and how I really loved it in the beta, and then I struggled with it initially playing it on live, and now I've adjusted my playstyle, and I'm going to tell you how you too can adjust your playstyle so that you win a lot more. That's a big thing here. You win a lot more and you have more fun playing it. Firstly, I want to point something out. I am an old bloke, and as an old bloke who has been around the traps playing video games for 35 years, I'm not even kidding, like online video games for 30 plus, I have been wrong a lot of times, and that allows me to have the awareness that sometimes I don't get it right on the first blush. And I looked at Karakin when I came back to play it, and I didn't like the map itself. One of the reasons I didn't like the map is because I expected it to be a late circle Miramar, but it's not. The scissors, rock, paper that is PUBG Mobile is very clear. If you have a M416 or a G36C or a Scarrel and you're spraying, and someone else has a bolt action rifle, you can't get away with that, because while you're spraying, they only have to headshot you with a level 2 helmet and you'll fall over. Karakin solves that problem by just removing anything over a 3x. You're not going to really find anything over a 3x in world loot tables, okay? Occasionally you'll get a 4x or a 6x pop up in a loot crate, or you'll get an 8x from an airdrop, but pretty much everyone is running a 3x and a 5.56 AR as a secondary long-range spray. And what that means is if you're not really into that meta, it can be very, very confronting. What I found was I asked people in my Discord server, and if you want to join that, the link is in the description below, and we've got 10,500 people there, so there's a lot of them, what they thought of the map. And I said, I'm struggling on this map. I'm not loving the map. And it's weird because I expected to love it. And the thing that I found that was happening a lot for me was, well, I'll give you an example of it. This is a gunfight where it's, in just a second, I'll show you. There's a gunfight where it's final 5, I think, and I get a knock on a bloke, but he's 200 odd meters away. And I end up losing to the same squad that I got the knock on. Because what will happen in Karakin all the time is you will be stationary and you will hold a strong position because you're in the middle of the circle, you got a knock, right? That's all cool. And then suddenly you'll see the bullet start popping next to my left shoulder here. You're getting third partied. And then you get pushed from the other side and you're getting hit from both sides and it's all over. And people hate that. They get frustrated. They get so angry about it. But here's the tip. The problem is you. The problem is me. Karakin is the fastest map in PUBG Mobile. It is a movement doctrine in all forms of combat. You do not ever want to be stationary. If you get a knock, you either push it or you reposition. Because if you think about it, this is a small scale 2x2 map, and it is surrounded by 5.56 ARs and blind ridges. If you do not keep moving, what happens is you become the target of everyone around you that hears your gunfire. And you will guarantee that you will get third partied if you don't keep moving. As soon as I adopted this doctrine, and I found this doctrine because I asked people in my Discord server, hey, what do you do? Why do you like it so much? And Australoops and Lou Grass particularly said to me, hey, you got to keep moving. You got to get SMGs. You got to get out there and you've got to be the guy doing the third partying. You start on the edges and you work your way in. And I'm an open-minded human being. I gave it a shot. And I started winning, and I started getting a lot of kills, and I started having a lot more fun. That is a doctrine that works on this map. There is no scissors, rock, paper for bolt actions. And it's not like Miramar where it's wide, big open spaces with flat plains. You can be visible, but you're also going to be dealing with people on ridge lines, and you've got to engage, and you've got to take CQC fights. And I think a lot of people are so used to being passive in particular areas. Like if you've got a spray weapon or something and you're on Erangel, you can afford to be more passive. You can't afford to be passive here, because if you don't wipe the people on your flank, then eventually someone else will turn up from the other flank, and the next thing you know, you're in a flank sandwich and you're the meat and everyone's wondering what to eat you with. And it's not a lot of fun. Something else I want to talk about with this map is this weapon, the G36C. I think a lot of people are having their eyes open to why this gun is listed as the 6th best weapon in PUBG Mobile on my top 10. And that's better than the M416, the DP28, the AUG, all those guys. And the reason for it is its incredible recoil profile. The 36C has a better recoil profile than the M416 or the AUG. The 36C recoil is vertical. It just goes straight up. It's like drawing a line straight up a wall. It doesn't have a lot of horizontal recoil. That means it's one of the only guns that I will run. I mean, have a look over there. I'm going to use a holo. Watch this. Look, it's just boom. Absolute boom. It's one of the only guns that I'll use a vertical foregrip on rather than an angled. This is 280 meters, nearly 300 meters with a 3X, and it doesn't have an issue with that. And that's not an isolated incident. You're going to get a lot of this where people will lie down and just spray on long range. And if you're in a gunfight, this is what I'm talking about, that whole third party thing. That's 300 meters right there. It's deadly. But it's not just sprays. It is a map. Oh, this is great. This is wonderful. This is exactly what I'm talking about. I finally found a Kar 98, and I'm sitting here and I got a 2X, and I go and loot the 3X off that guy, and I start nailing targets, and it's all well and good. Yeah, awesome. I'm absolutely killing it. I was on that hill there for about 4 minutes, and I got 3 kills, and because I was stationary, people came to me. People will come to you rather than, you don't have to wait. They'll just turn up and they'll tear you apart, because that's what Karakin is all about. And you have to embrace it. If you embrace it, you will find that it is a fantastically fun playstyle. You'll see there's someone on the top of that ridgeline that I started hitting, and then someone else took out the guy that was on top of the ridgeline that I was hitting. And then I am going to take out the guy that took out the guy that I was originally shooting at. And then I'm pushing towards that ridge, and I get there and there's people gunfighting all around it, because this is what happens. Sound draws everyone in, and the next thing you know, you're third partying the guys that just turned up as you were rolling into a ridgeline that you'd already had a gunfight with. This is kind of crazy. And that's why I say this is the fastest map in PUBG Mobile. It is a lot like old school boot camp, where everyone would just run around boot camp, not holding angles, but moving from one spot to the next. And if you're the guy that's caught stationary, you're going to be in absolutely all sorts of bother. Think about it this way. If you are moving, it is very, very hard for you to be ambushed. Okay. And even if you are running into people while in movement, that's just a gunfight. That's a CQC gunfight. And that's not a bad thing. That's usually going to be an even odds gunfight. And while you're moving, you will hear gunfire, like straight ahead. I hear gunfire and I'm like, third party time. Everyone loves a third party. It's the only kind of party I love. And you're into it. And wonderful, wonderful stuff. I mean, look at this. As I turn up, someone else is shooting at me. The sound draws everyone in. And if you start taking advantage of that, you are going to absolutely enjoy this map. It was a real head scratcher for me, because I was expecting it to be a map that I really went to work with a bolt action or something like that. You're wasting your time. Even if you get a Kar 98 or an M24, 3Xs, it's just not enough for the gun to be effective. You can make some shots with it, but you don't want to be stationary, because there's very, very few areas where you can be stationary and covered from all angles. What you want to do is keep moving, and you want to pick guns like the MP5K and G36C. This is my favorite loadout. G36C for pretty much anything over 50 meters, MP5K for all the really close, dirty wet work. And You'll absolutely love it. Now, before I forget, there is going to be a big event, the Conquerors of Karakin. It'll be on the official PUBG Mobile YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook channels, April 19th at 5 p.m. PDT. Make sure you get ready to rumble on that one, because I think that's going to be a lot of giggle and a lot of fun, and you're going to have a good time watching it. And you never know, there might be some people you know on that official event. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink, say no more. I really can't emphasize enough that you need to give this map a chance. You need to, if you're not enjoying it, think about whether it's the play style or it's you. You can certainly be more aggressive or less aggressive. You don't have to land in populated urban areas. There's plenty of loot on this map. In fact, it's loot crazy. You'll find M4s and G36s and MP5s and AUGs and everything's on this map. It's all here. Just get out and find it. And you can adjust your playstyle. You can go and land in some less busy areas and then work the ridge lines and run those ridges, but just don't think that you can sit still and own an area. It's far too chaotic for that. It's much better for me in solos and duos, I find. Squads, it is very chaotic. It's a lot of fun, but it is very, very chaotic. And you've got to be in a squad where everyone is very active and moves a lot, because if you end up in a squad where everyone is just going to sit and hold a zone, you might win one engagement, but you'll probably end up getting third-partied by a whole bunch of other squads that hear the gunfire and just want to come and have some fun. And that's fine. That's what Karakin's all about. Adjust your playstyle accordingly. Be an open-minded human and maybe go and enjoy yourself. I'm Bushka. Thank you so much for watching. Look after yourselves. As always, stay safe on the battlefield. And until next time, bye for now.